am Roxy with Rockstars Glued 3.0, and I'm here at the Blue Note in Harrison, and I am with King Parrot, and you are?
I'm Mr. White. How are you?
Mr. White, I'm doing well. So, Mr. White, you are from Australia, correct?
Very
Melbourne.
True. Absolutely.
Yes.
Bang on.
And you are on tour with Phil and Samo and the Illegals?
And the Illegals.
Yeah, you just started this tour early this month. You've been going back to back. How has that been for you guys?
Shows? You mean back to back?
Yeah, back to back shows.
In fact, we've probably had more days off on this run than we're used to.
Yeah?
Yeah. But we're just in the start of a 4-show run. But back-to-back situations work pretty well.
Yeah?
We're kind of used to it now. Yeah.
Is it different here in the States than it is in Australia?
There's a lot more driving back home in Australia.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
But also we can't really play as many shows as we do over here just because of population numbers, basically. So we play a lot more shows consecutively, back to back, to back to back to back.
Do you get more exposure here outside of the back-to-back shows?
I think we probably get, I suppose more shows, more exposure, really. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and also the bands we get to play with, the bands we've toured with, is a bit more world-renowned, I suppose.
Yeah.
Considering a grind band from Collingwood, yeah.
Phil took you guys under, and he's taken you to his personal,
his lair.
Yeah. He's been good to you guys, and that's awesome.
Absolutely.
A lot. So you actually today, a year ago, you put out an album, Ugly Produce. To this day. So
is that right?
Yeah, September 22nd.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell me about the success in that album and the turnout with it.
It's been received really well.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's probably my favourite. The success, I'm not really sure. I'm not the bookkeeper. I just sort of write the songs, so you might have to get a bit of information out of some of the other dudes for that sort of stuff. But it's been very well received, and I think the songs go over pretty well live. So yeah, it's good.
I've heard your live performances in thrilling.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Not yet.
Well, fuck. I hope we don't disappoint then.
You won't. Yeah. So I might be saying it wrong. The ARIA Music Awards.
ARIA, yeah.
Yeah, the Australian.
ARIA, yes.
You've reached 21 with this album.
Yeah. Isn't that a fuck out? Yeah. I don't know, that's mind-blowing. Yeah. It is, yeah. We got to, actually, on the last one, we actually got to walk the red carpet at the awards. And when we rocked up, we were just sort of standing there, just talking shit amongst ourselves. And then realised that a band called The Wiggles were walking up just behind us. So as we were getting our photos taken, The Wiggles rocked up. I don't know if you're familiar with The Wiggles.
Is it a child?
It is. It's
band?
like and like they're actually one of the biggest. Well, they were anyway. One of the biggest bands in the world. Followers going by that, and certainly Australia's biggest. What's the word? Just like produce, I guess.
Prodigy.
No, what is it?
Icons,
not prodigy.
Icons, maybe?
Yeah, just the biggest, international sort of act, I guess. A lot of kids in the world.
But regardless, you were still there.
We were there. We were walking the red carpet before them, and I was like, "Fuck, we can't miss this opportunity. We've got to get a photo."
Yeah.
So we quickly asked them. They were totally cool with it. Got a photo. And even though I spotted him, I got cut out of the photo, which kind of sucked for me.
Yeah.
But, I'll live.
The memory's still there, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bright and clear, yeah.
So this is your third album that you guys have put out. And you guys are also, most of you are from other really well-known bands. How did you guys form into King Parrot?
Good question. Well, me and the original drummer, Matt Rizzo, who was in a band called Blood Duster, who are another fucking great export of Australia. We were in another band called Watchdog Discipline before this, and when that sort of dissipated, we just started jamming and writing, and pretty much wrote that first Bite Your Head Off, like all the music to that. And then there's a couple of other dudes in the band, and me and Rizzo like, fuck, we'll get someone to get a singer in, you know. And I'm not going to share this story because it's a bit personal and a bit fucking rude, like a bit wrong. But I was like, oh, why don't we'll get Youngie to sing? I'd only met Youngie a couple of times. And Rizzo's like, what do you mean? He's a bass player. I was like, nah, trust me. Because of the story I'm not going to share on this interview, Youngie basically cracked the fucking shits big time at me and Rizzo. I was like, yeah, that dude who cracked the shits.
Nice.
So, all right, cool, we'll give it a go. And it just fucking turned out, you know. I think he was sort of built for it. And then the original bass player, who never played a show, he couldn't really commit to it. And that's when Youngie's like, oh, my mate Slats, who we all sort of, again, I'd only met him a couple of times, Rizzo knew him quite well. So yeah, and he's a funny fucker. And that's always handy, especially out on the road. And he can play bass.
Oh, that's important,
he's not just a funny bastard. And and then Squizzy just hit us up at one show. I hadn't seen Squizzy in about 5 or 7 years or something, and he just rocked up at a show with a camera, filming the whole show. And then I got a phone call that Sunday from Youngie saying Squizzy's off his head. He's going to call you. I think he wants to fucking jam. Because the original guitarist, the other guitarist, was leaving. And so, okay, cool. So anyway, 10 minutes later, I got a call from Squiz. Sure enough, he was pissed as fuck from the night before in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I'll see when he's jamming. And he's like, yeah, Wednesday, I'll be there. And he rocked up and just slayed every song.
Awesome.
And here we are, yeah.
There you are, definitely.
And then, there's a few drummers later, and then Toddy was just a no-brainer because he's just built for touring and can write, easy to hang out with, and that's what he wanted to do. And we were just getting ready to really hit the road, started hitting the road hard, so, yeah.
A question out of curiosity is, how's it different from Australia versus the United States? Is there the music scene a little different, or just the lifestyle?
The beer's shit.
Yeah.
Really watered down. The scene's actually very similar. It's kind of weird, actually, because when we first came out, the first sort of big tour we did over here was with Down.
Yep.
And even meeting those sort of dudes, then realising, you know, because going to hang out, like, say, in New Orleans with, like, Pepper or something, you know, or with Jimmy Bauer, you know, like, people sort of, like, I don't know if looked up to is the right term, but, you know, people read about it in magazines and all that sort of shit, and then realise that when over here it's just another scene and they're just hanging out at bars and talking to people and whatever. So in that regards, no, it's not really much difference. Yeah, which is kind of cool and welcoming, I guess.
Yeah. That's awesome. Interesting to hear that kind of a feedback with that for our listeners as well. What kind of influences do you guys have? I heard you guys put on an amazing performance, indifferent with your recorded material. You're very, very energetic and into it. Is that
I think the recorded material is pretty energetic.
Oh, yes, definitely. I've been.
But influence-wise, it's pretty varied between us. Yeah. We all listen to a bit of everything. Honestly, I don't really listen to heavy metal. There's the heavy metal I grew up on, which I still love, and you know, from time to time there'll be a band that sort of blows my mind or whatever. But I think my biggest influence for Ugly Produce anyway was probably like Elton John, to be honest.
Nice.
I just pick out the certain energies, I guess, you know, out of tunes. So, and then make of it what I will. Yeah. So anyway, to answer your question, there's a broad spectrum of styles of music, absolutely, that influence us individually, and I think that comes across live too, not only in the recorded sense. Yeah.
Well, this will be my first time seeing you guys live. I've listened to you for a few years now, and I dig your guys' stuff for sure, so I'm excited. I really appreciate your guys' time, and I hope that your trip here is great.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
And I sincerely hope, Roxy, that we don't disappoint you tonight. I think,
I'm pretty sure you won't.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you. This is Roxy, and I am here with King Parrot here at Blue Note in Harrison.
Thank you kindly. Catch us later.